Hi guys, so I've finally finished a Christmas journal, and this one is a little golden book journal, the Christmas ABC, and it's not very old. I think it was a 1990 edition. Okay, and this one will go into my little Etsy shop sometime after this video is uploaded. Okay, so I'll give you a quick look. I have sealed the cover front and back because you know, there were some little scuff marks where, you know, little bit of the color has come up, so I didn't want it to keep peeling, so I have sealed the cover front and back, and I've put little metal book corners front and back. It's got an eyelet closure with a red ribbon. On the cover I've got some Christmas fabric, and this is a dark red. It's like a Santa red, but it looks a lot brighter on camera, as always. It's got little Christmas teddy bears, trumpets, stockings and little drums, and some daisy trim down the side, front and back. So the back is just plain. And I've put a little dangle on this journal. So it's just got an eyelet and it's attached with a bowl pin. So if it annoys you, you can take it off. With a green and red bead cap. And this is just a mix of red, green and yellow eyelash trims and lace, a little bit of fabric. And I've also made two little beads. Because the journal's called Christmas ABC, I've just made, these are those, you know, those little children's beads. They're like little blocks. And I've just put Xmas ABC, and I've put a little bell on the end of them. Okay. And it's long enough you can just push it up while you're writing, so it's not in the way. The closure, I've left the ribbon quite long so that if, I know Christmas journals, people put a lot of photos and lists and stuff like that in there. So I've left the ribbon quite long so that if your journal expands, you've got room to grow. But if it's too long for you, you can just chop it down. Okay. So it's got 3 signatures. All the original book pages are in here, but because little golden books usually have 2 signatures, and I've put 3 signatures, the pages, they won't be in order, but they are all there. Okay, so I've left the inside front and back cover plain because I think, you know, this really represents Little Golden Book. You know, all these little pictures and patterns. Okay, I'll try not to be too long. Also, I haven't used a lot of coffee dyed papers in this one. Surprise, surprise. I've tried to make this one a bit brighter, cheerier, Christmassy. So I've put a lot of dyed papers, pink, well, they were red, but they look pink, green, yellow, and some scrapbook papers. Okay, so just some eyelet trim. This is a children's learning book. It's a Chinese book, but it had really cute little pictures. And this kind of reminded me, it's got a little clock, toys, bed. You know, when the kids, the night before Christmas, they go to bed and they're all excited because they know tomorrow they'll get toys. Some scrap fabric and lace. So coffee dyed paper. This is a gold foiled paper. Looks like a wrapping paper, but it's quite thick, really pretty. And I'm happy to say that this journal is, besides glue, the metal book corners, and 2 little staples. This is 100% recycled. Even the food colouring that was left over. My daughter, she was a when she lived at home, she used to always bake, but now she's moved out of home. She left those behind, and of course I can't bake, I can't cook, so I've never used them, so I thought I'm just going to use them for dyeing papers. But otherwise everything is recycled. So green fabric trim there. But if you're new to my channel, yeah, everything that I make is using recycled materials as much as possible. I mean, book corners, got no choice. If I could make my own, I would. Little note paper in there. Little pink donuts. And this is a Christmas card. The Christmas cards are used as well. So this is from, they're not sentimental ones, they were like from work and, you know, customers and that give you, isn't that pretty though? I don't know if you can see, but it's all glittery. It's a really pretty card. That's fabric trim. It's just decorative. I should have left the front of this unglued so that you could use it as a tuck spot, but I didn't. I glued it down. It's really pretty. That's quite old actually. That was from an old tablecloth or something of my grandmother's. It was quite beaten up and damaged, but it was really pretty. I love the pictures in this book as well. That's a old recipe card, and it's for candy popcorn. I've just paper clipped that on so you can move it around. And I put that in there because, you know, Christmas, when you're a kid, Christmas is all about presents and eating junk. A little notebook with some scrap fabric. That's the scrap of the fabric on the spine of the cover. So this is that Chinese learning book, but all little toys and everything. I thought, you know, that's what Christmas is for kids, all little toys. So there's a little letter here, little envelope with a little teeny tiny journal card. And I put that little letter there because, you know, they've got M is for mailbox. The postman will fill with letters and cards. Okay, that's the end of the first signature. Second signature. This is some yellow photocopy paper with some red food colouring. And that's the red food colouring just on white paper. So look how different. Look at the effect there. I love that. Some pink scrapbook paper. So that's just a writing piece of paper in that pocket. And this is a little chipboard Christmas tree, and I've just stuck like a little faux diamante on the top on the star. This little chipboard thing, I pulled off this, it's like a Christmas tree, not Christmas tree, little Christmas ornament, I don't know what you call it, like a little picture frame thing. So this green page was E is for evergreen. This page was actually one of the end pages of a book. So, you know, when you have a book, there's always a blank page at the front and back. So I've pulled that out, but one side was an orange brown, the other side is was white. And so I had a stencil that I made for something else just out of little paper punch. And I had some leftover paint, so that's just a baby wipe on with leftover paint on it. Just because I don't like white pages. That's a green dyed candy bag. So I've been coffee dyeing these, but I did a whole bunch green and red. Just a little Christmas tag with some eyelash trim. That's cut out of a children's book. Fabric ruffle. I don't know if my camera's focusing. Sorry, it's quite dark here today. It's pretty overcast. We've had rain all week, so I haven't been able to coffee dye papers or anything. But this is What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? Not a lot. I'm too old now. I'll fall asleep by midnight. Oh, this is, it's blank on the back so you can write with it. This is just some handwritten music. This was in, you know, the pile of vintage music papers I got from Reverse Garbage. A few videos back I showed it. And there was some handwritten stuff in there which I love. So I have cut it up because I've tried to put some in each journal so that, you know, spread it around. And that's the Christmas card as well. And Santa's got a little carol book there, so that's why I've put some music paper with his. It's a dyed envelope. And oh, this was a children's card. Pack of children's cards, and funny enough there was one in there ABC, so since the book was Christmas ABC I thought that went well. I don't know if you're focused, sorry, shook you about. This is a picture of Clive, my fat cat Clive, up the Christmas tree. And he literally does do that every Christmas. He climbs up the Christmas tree. He loves the tinsel and the balls on the Christmas tree. And every year he'll knock the tree over, like completely over. So one year we had our Christmas tree up and all the decorations were up on the top layers because we couldn't leave anything around the bottom. Just a bit of scrap fabric and a Christmas elf. That's some Hessian ribbon. It's really pretty. I love that. Actually, this is it. I found this at an op shop and it was like 50 cents or something. But look how beautiful it is, and it's really thick and sturdy and nice. I really love it. The other side of that bookend page that I've just baby wiped leftover paint. This is some, I don't know if this is scrapbook paper or what, but in an op shop I found a little pack of just all different pattern papers and stuff like that. So this one I've cut up to make a tag. Sorry, I feel like I'm out of focus for some reason. This is some scrapbook paper. Even the scrapbook paper pads, I found those in an op shop. I found 4 pads of, they're all the same, but they had these kind of ugly, the whole pad was ugly patterns. And but once you pull out page by page separately and mix them in, they're not too bad. So this one I thought was quite Christmassy. some yellow ruffle. Oh, in this pocket I've just put some yellow dyed note paper. And look at that, isn't that pretty? I just love the yellow food colouring dyed papers, how they came out. I think they're so nice. So everything, I've tried to leave this journal quite blank, like with a lot of writing space and a lot of space to, you know, glue pictures and lists and everything. But I have put something in every pocket just because, I don't know, it feels weird if I leave a empty pocket. Some leftover paints on book page. This was actually out of a Daphne's Diary magazine. It's really thick and it was meant to be a little template to build a little cardboard box. This Daphne's Diary was sent to me by Lisa Henrahan. She's a lady in the Junk Journal Down Under group. And I don't know, I just thought it made pretty book paper instead of a little box. So it's got a little bird and flowers there and I just thought it was really pretty. So it became a book page instead of a box. Oh, this page, this was out of a diary from 1986. And it was December, so I put it in. And this was from the Royal New South Wales Institute for Deaf and Blind Children. I think it was one of those fundraiser diaries that they used to sell to raise money for the Institute. And even though it's only 1986, it's already yellowing. I suppose 86 is a while back now. It's another page from that Chinese children's learning book with some scrap fabric. Look, isn't that pretty? I really love it. This is like the brightest, cheeriest journal I've made. My journals are usually quite dark because I love really heavy, dark, coffee-dyed papers, you know, grungy style. But yeah, this is as bright as I've gone actually. So this is some coffee dyed paper with a napkin. I just did a video. Actually, it might have been my last video, which was like, I think a week ago. Just on how to repair torn coffee dyed pages. It's another Christmas card, and this looked Christmassy to me, but this is actually chopped off a security envelope. So plenty of writing space on there, but see, you can find pretty junk around and keep your junk journals as a true junk journal. They don't need to be, you know, store-bought, mass-produced craft supplies and, you know, stuff like that. Lots of pretty papers around in the world already. Look, isn't that nice? Actually, Christmas wreaths, I never ever see any in Australia. I know that in America, you guys, I think from what we've seen on TV and read, you know, it's quite common. But to be honest, I've only ever seen wreaths at funerals. Even growing up, I've never seen a Christmas wreath in Australia, around the area I live. The only place I've ever seen them is shopping centres when they have their great big shopping Christmas displays, but I've never seen one hanging on someone's front door. Yeah, I don't know if it's more of a memorial thing here. We see them at funerals, but that's it. Well, in the areas I've lived growing up, and I'm old, so I've lived in a few areas, but I've just never seen them around for Christmas. That's the other side of the Daphne's Diary page. Oh, this was one of the photos. That's the gingerbread house. This was in that pile of photos I've I got from Reverse Garbage a few videos back. And just some red lace there. And that's it. So I hope you like my first little Christmas journal. The only thing I don't like is, I think between the spine and the cover, I maybe left a little bit too much gap, because you know you get that side movement if you squish it. But yeah, I think it turned out quite cute for my first non-grungy colourful journal. Anyway, that's it. This will be in my little Etsy shop if you're interested. And thanks for watching.